At the beginning of the story, it is seen that a NASA spacecraft capsule has accidentally landed on the ground. Inside the capsule was astronaut Sam. The rescue team quickly pulled him out of the capsule, placed him on a boat, and took him to the hospital. After some time, when Sam regained consciousness, he suddenly began feeling dizzy. As he looked around, he noticed a pen floating in the air. Just then, a few people suddenly entered the room, and when Sam looked at the pen again, it was now lying on the table. Soon after, he began to feel nauseous. The doctors explained that, given his current physical condition, experiencing such illusions was normal. To assess his mental state, they asked Sam a few questions. When he mentioned the pen incident, the doctors said, "You've been in a weightless environment in space for so long. It's normal for your eyes to perceive things as floating. There's nothing to worry about." He felt his hand was slightly swollen, though not broken. It had probably been injured during the landing. The doctors then asked him what actually happened in reality. Sam said that Mission Control had informed him about a specific position, and everything was going smoothly. Suddenly, his space capsule likely collided with some object, and as it rapidly fell downward, he lost consciousness. The doctors explained that the capsule had a hole due to some impact, and even his helmet was damaged. It was probably caused by a small floating rock or particle in space. Parts of Sam's suit were sent for examination. A little later, his husband Mark and daughter Izzy came to see him, but due to quarantine, they could only speak to him from behind the glass. His father, William, was also present. Sam was informed that not only NASA, but also the government would investigate the accident because a strange frequency had been detected when the capsule entered Earth's atmosphere. The government had prepared a special house for Sam, where he could recover in peace without dealing with the press. Dr. Michelle showed him the house and explained that it had been purchased by the government in 1950 for testing purposes and is now used for important individuals. Outside the house, a telescope had been installed so Sam wouldn't miss the view of space. When Sam tried to use the telescope, suddenly there was a loud noise, and he felt a sharp pain in his head. At the same time, he began seeing strange images. Michelle reassured him, saying, "These experiences are normal. Don't worry if a little blood comes from your nose, or if you see odd floating things. It will take time for you to fully recover. You'll be re-examined in 2 months. Then prepare for your next mission." Every morning, the doctors checked on him. One evening, he experienced intense headaches. When he removed the bandage from his hand, he noticed a large bruise. While tidying up some things, his nose suddenly started bleeding. Just then, his friend Val called via video. While they were talking, Sam suddenly went silent and stared out the window. Val screamed, "Sam! Sam!" Val said, "Sam, what are you seeing? Where are you staring?" Suddenly, Sam jolted and said, "I feel like someone's outside." As the camera angle shifted, a shadow was seen moving toward him. Val advised him, "Describe their symptoms a little less. Then they'll let you get back to work quickly." As soon as the call ended, the lights in the house began flickering. From one room, a loud noise suddenly echoed. Sam went to investigate and saw water and mud scattered across the floor, and the door was open. He stepped outside and, using the telescope, watched the forest. He noticed some movement, but it disappeared in an instant. He picked up a rock and threw it in that direction, but in reality, something had landed on his house's roof. Suddenly, those strange sounds began ringing in his head again, and fragments of memories from the crash site started coming back. The next morning, when he woke up, he noticed that the bandage on his hand was gone. The bruise had grown larger. While making breakfast, he saw an egg floating in the air. When Sam touched it, the egg trembled, and even after he let go, it continued to float. As soon as the doctors entered the room, his attention shifted, and in a moment, the egg fell and broke. That meant the egg had truly been floating. The doctors ran a few more tests. While exercising, Sam suddenly felt a pull in his leg. He reassured them, No, it's okay. Nothing happened." After the tests, Sam returned home. Michelle said, "The tests are a bit tough, but extremely important for NASA." Then she asked, "You didn't notice any symptoms, right?" But Sam, following his friend's advice, lied and said everything was fine. After the doctors left, he called Mark. On the phone, he said, "Once I'm fully recovered, the 3 of us will go on a trip together as a family." But Mark didn't agree. He said, "Izzy will get confused. She'll think we're back together, that everything's fine. But when the divorce happens, it will hit her hard." Sam felt terrible. He said, "There's no certainty that we'll get divorced. We're just talking now." From their conversation, it's clear that Izzy was adopted, and Sam and Mark are separating. Sam is constantly busy with work and doesn't have enough time for Mark and Izzy. Later, Izzy came and showed him a drawing depicting people in space. In the evening, while walking in the forest, Sam heard that piercing sound again. Before his eyes, a scene unfolded as if someone was trying to find him. Once everything was quiet, he saw a wire buried under the ground. Following the wire, he reached a rock. When he picked it up, he realized it was fake. A small camera had been hidden inside. He followed a few more wires and saw that many cameras had been installed around. Seeing this, he became quite terrified and started heading back. Just then, his foot got caught, and he fell. He opened his eyes again in bed, headache, blood in his hair. At that exact moment, he saw someone outside the window. A little while later, a man entered the room. He said they had brought Sam inside from outside while he was injured. Sam asked him, "Who are you?" At that exact moment, Sam's father, William, appeared from behind. He said, "When I saw the house was empty, I immediately sent the search team." Then, scolding Sam, he told him that he wasn't resting properly. When Sam asked about the cameras around the house, William revealed that he hadn't shared all the information about the house with NASA. He had secretly installed cameras in various locations himself. Then he showed Sam a hidden room. Below, a vast area was visible, where important individuals were housed. As William turned on the computer, all the camera feeds appeared on the screen. He said, "In an emergency, this house can completely seal itself. A strong layer will form on top. There are separate security systems inside. It can even counterattack, though you won't need that." After William left, the screens suddenly began to distort. Sam looked at his own hand. The marks had spread across his entire arm. He took a photo and sent it to Val. "Look, is this really happening to my body?" Val said that Sam's hand marks would slowly heal over time. That night, Sam was relaxing in the jacuzzi when suddenly the air completely stopped and strange sounds came from the direction of the forest. Within a second, the wind picked up again. Frightened, Sam hurried back inside. He called his mother, but she didn't answer. Suddenly, the lights began flickering. Sam grabbed a flashlight and went out onto the balcony to look around. Nothing unusual was visible. But when he came back inside, the lights went out completely, and a strange monster was standing in front of the door. Sam froze for a moment. As he continued looking, the creature disappeared. The lights came back on. Sam opened the door and shone his flashlight around. Nothing was there. He hurried back inside, activated the alarm, and locked the door. While heading toward the bedroom, the house AI announced, "Someone has entered the house. Lockdown initiated." Metal panels rose, and all doors and windows were sealed. Sam was now trapped inside. He tried calling on the phone, but there was no network. Suddenly, that piercing scream echoed in his ears. Hearing a sound behind him, he turned. No one was there. Roaring noises came from the next room. Terrified, Sam ran downstairs. The creature was rapidly approaching him. The sound grew louder and louder. Sam reached the light switch and pressed all the buttons. Nothing happened. The doors to the outside wouldn't open either. At one point, the bedroom door handle started moving, but Sam froze, flashlight in hand. A moment later, the door opened, and he looked outside. A tree next to the window started moving. Terrified, he dropped the flashlight. Panicking, he grabbed it again and looked at the tree. When he did, a strange hand touched the window glass. Sam screamed and ran. He sprinted into the bunker area his father had shown him. There, he checked the camera footage. At first, the screens weren't working, but after switching them on properly, the cameras activated. One camera showed the creature sitting on the grass outside. When the light fell on it, the creature suddenly vanished. Suddenly, the phone rang, waking Sam up. He realized he had fallen asleep during the computer test. He ran upstairs. William and his team were there. William explained that, due to a generator problem, he had sent people over. Alone, Sam told William, "There's a creature in this house." William replied, "I'll check the security footage." Sam's tests then resumed. Michelle examined his wounds and said, "These aren't normal injuries. I'm scheduling an X-ray appointment for you." A short while later, Mark and Izzy came to see Sam. "We were spending time with our granddaughter." Just then, Mark and Sam walked toward the forest to have a private conversation. Sam told Mark that he had seen a creature, not of this world. It seemed as if he might have brought an alien back from space, since his mission had been to send signals into space. As Sam spoke, Mark was about to respond, but suddenly Izzy appeared. Later, William and Sam went to check the cameras. They reviewed the footage from the time Sam had seen the creature, but no creature was visible on the grass in the recordings. William said, "Son, maybe you're overthinking. You need some rest." Because Sam insisted, William ran a full scan of the house on the computer. The scan detected 9 people, the family, and William's team. A little later, Izzy, Mark, and Sam went for another walk in the forest. While talking, a strange sound was heard, and Izzy suddenly vanished.
"Isabel!"
Izzy returned from behind, with a dead insect in her hand. At that exact moment, a piercing sound from the forest bushes began. One insect flew and collided with a tree. Terrified, everyone ran back toward the house. Thousands of insects swarmed from the forest, surrounding the house. They looked at the windows. The light was completely blocked. After a while, the insects dispersed, but the window glass was sticky, and many dead insects lay below. A cleanup team arrived, and a NASA officer said that this incident was abnormal. Sam asked for updates on his capsule tests, but the report had not arrived yet. Mark and Izzy left for the time being, though Mark said he would return that night. Sam felt a strange pain in his leg. Upon removing his shoe, he saw blood seeping from under his nail. In the bathroom, after taking off his sock, he noticed the mark had spread across his entire leg. The nail came off the moment he touched it. Sam screamed, wrapped a bandage, and applied ice. Just then, the lights began flickering again. Sam dragged a table and placed it in front of the door. While searching online for incidents involving strange insects, he found pictures of people with marks identical to his. Suddenly, he felt as if something was moving over his waist. He ran to the bathroom. In the mirror, he saw that the wound on his hand had now spread up to his shoulder. The lights flickered again, and Sam activated the alarm and ran downstairs. Strange sounds echoed all around. At that exact moment, his mother called. Sam asked, "Was I a good mom?" Hearing this, Mark became somewhat confused. The lights kept flickering on and off, and the house AI announced that a lockdown had begun. Sam told Mark, "There's something inside the house," and the sounds were getting closer. Sam started moving toward the bunker. Suddenly, he felt sharp pain in his waist and collapsed to the ground. Rolling down the stairs, he slid to the lower level. His hands felt sticky, as if coated with some strange fluid. He also saw that his phone was broken. Strange noises came from above, so Sam ran toward the computer. The scan showed there was someone else inside the house besides him. At that moment, the camera feeds began to distort, and on the screen, the monster was seen inside the house. Sam immediately shut the screen off. The computer ran another scan. This time it showed two people on the upper floor. When Sam pressed a few buttons, smoke began to emerge from the ceiling. He ran toward the kitchen, then heard the sound again. Terrified, he hid under the furniture and saw the monster in the shadows. The creature couldn't find Sam and moved away. As he ran toward the door, another monster appeared, so he had to hide again. Once the creature moved away, Sam ran into the bathroom, closed the door, and barricaded it with furniture. His injured hand was causing him intense pain. When he removed the bandage, he saw something strange spreading across his skin. Just then, the monsters began trying to break down the door. There, he noticed a vent. Kicking the panel opened it, and he slipped inside the vent. Meanwhile, Mark and Izzy reached the house. They saw that it was in lockdown. Mark tried calling Sam, but there was no signal. He got out of the car and approached the house to check. Izzy noticed something in the surroundings and suddenly ran off. Mark followed her and saw that in the distance, inside the forest, she was pointing toward a light with her hand raised. Meanwhile, Sam continued moving through the vent and quickly returned to the corridor. He then began climbing the stairs. Just then, a monster grabbed his leg and he fell to the ground. After a brief struggle, Sam kicked the monster's hand and quickly escaped from there. After a while, he found a path and made his way out toward the forest. Running through the trees, the marks on his body grew even brighter than before. Terrifying sounds echoed all around, yet strangely, he could hear none of the voices of his family who were searching for him. On the road nearby, William arrived with the entire team and weapons. He reminded everyone that they were facing an extremely intelligent entity. The cameras had recorded everything. He explained to the team that these creatures were not ordinary animals. They might possess extraordinary intelligence. The soldiers searched the rest of the house and eventually reached the bunker, where everything had been smashed and scattered. Meanwhile, in the forest, Sam collapsed onto the ground. The sounds of the monsters drew incredibly close, crying in fear. Suddenly, a creature gently lifted his face and looked at him with strangely affectionate eyes. In its own language, the creature said, "Can you understand me?" Sam was stunned, because he could understand every word. At that moment, several more creatures appeared. The first creature said, "We missed you very much, Sam." Sam, astonished, asked, Who are you?" The creature said, "We are your family." Sam was utterly confused. The creature placed its hand on his forehead and said, "Remember." Suddenly, Sam's previous visions became clear. He realized he was an alien himself, and his family had crashed on Earth many years ago. William's team had tried to capture them, but the aliens had escaped. During the chase, Sam became separated from his family. At that point, he had used a device to assume human form. When William found him, Sam appeared as a small child. The child had no parents, so William adopted him. His alien family never found him. They knew that the human disguise would eventually wear off in a few years. At that moment, Mark and Izzy saw Sam surrounded by the aliens in the forest. Just then, William arrived. He said, "I always knew who you were." William had deliberately turned Sam into an astronaut and sent him on this special mission so that his entire alien family could be reunited there. Now, he wanted to bring everyone together. He called his team. William told Sam, "Tell your companions to surrender." But Sam refused. When William drew a gun, Mark knocked him to the ground. At that moment, Sam's human form ended, and he fully returned to his alien form. The soldiers were approaching, so Mark told Sam, "Save yourself. Run." Then he fled into the forest with his alien family. By the time the soldiers arrived, the aliens had boarded a bright spaceship and left Earth, and that's how the movie ends.